This layer, that's the small trees and shrubs, are the flammable fuels that we would want to remove to make this landscape more fire resistant.
For the first time, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park is allowing people who own property next to the park boundary to clear flammable material from inside the park.
The move is a direct response to the 2016 Sevier County wildfires that destroyed hundreds of buildings.
Yeah, reporter Mark Salinger shows us the effort could save homes and even lives if another fire were to happen.
The 2016 wildfires killed 14 people and destroyed more than 2,400 structures in and around the park. Now homeowners can take new steps to protect their homes.
The line between nature and civilization is often blurred around the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Homes seem to grow out of the woods. Trees lay low over cabin roofs.
The last time that we worked on a hazard fuel reduction project in this area was about 20 years ago.
But with the beauty of the park comes a fire danger that must be dealt with.
For property owners that have structures right along the park boundary, for them to truly be fire-wise, they need to have some protection zone, including parklands.
For the first time, property owners who own land adjacent to the park will be allowed to clear flammable material up to 100 feet inside the park in order to create a defensible space. It's part of Sevier County's effort to become more fire-wise following the 2016 wildfires.
By implementing fire-wise practices, you're reducing that risk that the wildfire could spread and cause damage to your homes.
Park land is usually protected by the National Park Service and cannot be altered. But now property owners can apply for a special park use permit to clear the land.
We will come up and work with them to define an area that will help make their home more fire-wise.
Shrubs and small trees laying on the ground can be fuel for fire.
We're going to be coming in and doing some mechanical clearing of those flammable shrubs, mountain laurel, small trees.
Now property owners can take one more step to defend their homes in case another fire ever happens.
The park will start clearing land in August. People can begin applying for permits right now. We'll send it back to you.